Hello. So this will be my third video, basically with my thoughts on how education works. And first off, I'd like to address something I forgot in the last video about grades. Is that grades really make me unmotivated to work because they determine whether or not I can make it. I can be successful. Well, not entirely, but to an extent. Lincoln never graduated what's his name? That rapper, Eminem. He never graduated Lincoln High School, and look at how successful he is now. So obviously, no, doing good in school is not an end all. But about grades is grades do not motivate me to work very well. And here's the thing: it basically says that, if you fail, you actually you actually have a loss. Whereas if I'm just trying to learn a subject, like I research it on the internet, if I don't remember something, I can always go back and re-remember it. I can learn it, and I can learn at my own pace and when I want to. And if I'm tired and I want to go to bed, I can go to bed. I don't have to stay up really late to try and learn it. And I don't have to worry about losing anything if I don't do good, because this is all what I want to do. But in school, it's not the case. I may take a class I want to do, but I have to be graded on it, and that makes it difficult just for me to do it, because it's like in my German class. I love German, and I love the teacher of that class, but just the grades, the nervousness of failing the tests makes me unmotivated. I don't want to study. I'm just afraid I'm going to fail constantly. Whereas, like, with my little German iPhone app that I have, if I fail, so what? It's just like a video game. It's just like all those thousands of times I've died repeatedly on RuneScape. I just start again and keep going. And then I learn that way. And I don't have to be afraid of anything. I don't have to be afraid of getting a failing grade, because I can just start over and learn it again until I get it and I know it for real and I can use it fluently. So those are my last thoughts on grades. Anyways, this video is not about grades. This is about priorities. Now, I think our education system has a lot of very flawed and off priorities, and two examples I can use off the back of my head is no swearing, no wearing hats. Why? You're trying to teach a class, and you stop the whole system to tell a kid you can't wear a hat. And you ask, why can't you wear hats? And you'll say, security issue. What? You think they're gonna hide a gun in their hat or something? Or try to use it to cover their face? Most hats I've seen don't cover your face. And then they'll say, oh, it's disrespectful. What? So, this is like church? No, everyone's made to go to this class. Let them determine whether or not they should respect it in that way or not. But it's not like a soldier has just died and you're giving him a funeral and you all have to take your hats off. And it's not like you're in a church sanctuary and someone's preaching, Taking a hat off is a sign of respect someone gives, and it's something that you earn from someone. It's not something you demand. And then other people will say, oh, well, hats can have gang signs. Anything can have gang signs. I can wear a gang sign on my shirt. Are you going to tell me not to wear a shirt? Of course not. I think what they're getting at is those big, round, gaudy, baseball caps with, all those symbols, and it's mostly worn by minority students. I think that's probably what they're getting at, and I think that's very discriminatory of them to not like a certain culture or a certain group of people who like to wear this hat. And what if it's just a part of the kid's style? It's like freedom of expression. They don't want you to wear hats. Like, seriously, that's a ridiculous priority, which of course leads to ridiculous government rules. Like, I saw a teacher walking down the hall, and he's very rule-oriented, and he just yells at a girl to take off her hat. And he says, "You must think you're better than everyone else if you think you can wear hats." And I didn't say it, but I wanted to go up to him and say, "Well, you must technically think you're better than everyone else for claiming that you have extra rights to enforce a rule, because technically it is an authority figure who views themselves as better than everyone else, not a rule breaker." Alright, that is false, because I think that I should be able to wear hats, and you know what? I think that everyone else should too. So there, I don't think I'm better than everyone else. I'm not arrogant. You're arrogant for wanting to enforce the rules. Oh, and yeah, and that's another thing. There actually is a logical fallacy where if an authority says something, it doesn't mean it's true. I forgot what it's called, but that is a fallacy. Moving on, swearing. Really, you're gonna stop class because some kid shouted the F word? Seriously? Like, we're in high school now. Is it really gonna kill us? Like, come on. You know, get over it. That this isn't worth wasting your time. If you want to run the system effectively, you at least have to stop wasting your time making stupid rules. Alright? These are just the stupid things they prioritize and make so important. It's just, it's annoying. And then what else? What else do they prioritize? Oh yeah, so like the different reasons that school has existed in the past, like the type of school most of the world has now, started in Prussia, and it pretty much the whole point was to turn people into obedient workers and into obedient soldiers, pretty much just to push the nation's agenda and the corporations and government power and everything like that. Not to be free, not to think freely, not to be successful, none of that. Alright, it's just like what George Carlin said. You have owners, they own you. Well, that's pretty much what school's about. They want you to be smart enough to run the machines and dumb enough to not ask questions. And then, after that system, that was their original cause, was to just teach you how to, like, obey orders and stuff. They moved on, and they took the same system, the same format. Sure, they changed certain aspects, but they took the same format, and they reapplied it to now them trying to teach you, like, the old ways and old literature so it wouldn't be forgotten. Alright? Which is kind of pointless. Like, why do we really need to know that? You know, why is that a priority? See? There. False priority in and of itself. But then they took it from that, and they tried to turn it into a system which teaches you how to become successful. And then, well, I might be getting this part backwards, but then they took it and tried to turn it into a system which determines whether or not you're successful or not. So, it's the things they prioritize, like, which one is it? Choose. Like, of all those causes, reasons for education, which one are you gonna say is valuable, are you gonna stick with? And once you stick with it, make sure you come up with a format that works for it. Don't take the cause of the first reason and apply it to every other reason. You know, because this is the thing, like, even in private schools they have to follow the government's mandated system, right? So, otherwise, because if they're not getting the proper education that the government needs them to, then those schools would be shut down because they don't meet up with government standards, you know? Why not let people come up with their own ideas? Because what I said about school is, and priorities in general of school, is it's just like a store. If I want an apple, I'm hungry, I see an apple tree. I reach for an apple. I can't pick the apple. I can't reach it. It's too high up. I jump. I still can't reach it. I go into a hardware store, and I see hammers. I see nails. I see planks. I see wrenches. I see all sorts of tools. And I see a ladder. Out of all those tools I mentioned, which one do you think I'm going to buy? The ladder, right? Now what if, before I went to check out the ladder, a man stopped me and said, no, 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 no. Before you can buy the ladder to reach the apple, you need to buy all these other things. That's pretty much what education does. Is it says that, you know, you need to take all these classes, you need to start off in elementary school and work your way up before you can learn how to move on to learn to do what you actually want to do. You know, I think that people should do what they need to do to get successful. And if school is involved, then so be it. You know, but prioritizing all these things that aren't even necessary, that they're probably not even going to need, before what they actually do need, is just absurd. You know, personally, I think in my ideal system, if people need information or to learn how to do something for like a certain job or career, they'll look it up on the internet and they'll learn it there and they'll try it and they'll read the reviews and make sure everything works. And if people need skills, then they'll probably go to an apprentice. I'm not saying there won't be any schools anymore, but I definitely don't think that we need, again, the structured system that we have now. I think it really only helps to support itself and, of course, big government and corporations and whatnot. And, you know, if we do need a structured system, like I said, I think the market would determine just fine what kind of a system we need. Thanks for watching, and Auf Wiedersehen.